done all of this. But if it had not been for the Lord on my side, where in the world would I be? There's something about sitting in the presence of God that puts things in perspective in my life. Because you see, sometimes in life, when my enemies come against me, sometimes in life, when I have no hope and I feel like all my hope is gone, I've learned how to lean and depend on Jesus. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Has he brought anybody from a mighty long way? Somebody knows what I'm talking about. When you were down, when you were sick and couldn't get well, when you didn't have a job and didn't know how you were going to pay your bills. I'm so glad that he made a way out of no way. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. When the cupboards were bare, the children were acting out, I was laid up, drunk all weekend long. But I talked to God, and God talked to me, and he made a way out of no way. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. God just keeps on making a way out of no way. Perhaps you're one of those who are sitting here this morning and you've been saved all your life. Perhaps you've been sitting here this morning and you think you've done it all on your own. You need to look back over your life and realize that when the storms of life are raging, I've got a friend. They call him Jesus. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? He'll make a way. He'll make a way out of no way. I'm so glad. I'm so glad about what the Lord has done for me. The songwriter said it well. I praise and I praise. I praise all night long. I prayed when I didn't know how to pray any longer. But I heard the voice. I heard the voice of Jesus. I heard him. You may not have heard him, but I heard him. But I'm so glad that I heard it. Oh, early in the morning, I heard it. It was at noonday. I heard it. Late in the evening, I heard it. I'm so glad that I heard it. Our prayer ought to be, I made it over. I made it over. I made it over. Because the Lord's been good to me. When we look at our lives, we ought to be able to look back and say, I made it. Oh, I made it. I made it. Didn't know how I was going to make it. But I'm here today to tell you that I made it. I didn't know if I was going to get up, but I made it. And I'm glad about it. I made it. Sitting in the presence of God will reveal a whole lot of things about us. I made it. I made it over when other folk gave up on me. I made it when I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I made it. Does anybody know that they made it? By the grace of God, we can all declare that we made it. That ought to be our prayer and our testimony. Knowing that God did it. You ought to be able to tell somebody that God did it. God did it. I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. But God did it. He did it for me. And he'll do it for you. God did it. He made a way out of no way. God did it. Yes, he did. He did it. And that nobody else can see it. When this old boy looks at his own life, when I look back and see where the Lord has brought me from, I don't mind telling you that God did it. He made a way out of no way from the red clay Clay Hills of Rockingham County. He made a way out of no way. When I look at 5 Road, you ought to be able to tell somebody God did it. He made a way out of no way. God did it. Yes, he did. The reason why many of us are here today is because God did it. And can't nobody do it like Jesus. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Can't nobody do you like the Lord. Can't nobody hold you in the hollow of his hand. Oh, can't nobody take the taste out of your mouth. Can't nobody, I said can't nobody do me like Jesus. We need to sit there in the presence of God. When you find yourself there, sometimes you need to stay there. I said stay right there. Stay there. Hold on a little while longer. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. Stay there. Oh, stay there. In the presence of God, you just got to stay there. When folk look at you like you're crazy, they're wondering why you're down on your knees all that time. They wonder why tears are flowing from your eyes. But stay there. Stay right there. Oh, stay there till you hear from heaven, and you won't be disappointed. Sitting in the presence of God. 3 revelations. Revelation of self. A revelation of others. And a revelation of who God is. Because when you find yourself on your sick bed, you're going to need to know who God is. When you find yourself on your way out, you're going to need to know who God is. So I encourage us, I implore us, that there's value sitting in the presence of God. In the Old Testament, it was the posture that as they prayed, that they would sit before God. You know, sometimes whatever it takes, whether you want to lay down or whatever, but you need to pray. All of us need to pray about our situations and our condition. You know, and the Lord just spoke to me the other day and said, David, you don't pray enough. You got to pray more. If you want me to show you, you got to pray more. If you want me to bring you, you got to pray. Then I'll show you the way. The presence of the Lord. Have you ever experienced it for yourself? I can't experience it for you. But there's something about being in the presence of the Lord that when you see folk running and shouting and you say it don't take all that, but you ain't been through what they've been through. You don't know what the Lord done to them. You look at folk and they running and bucking and you wonder what in the world is wrong with them. But it's something about Jesus that when he does something for you, I can't help but run and buck and jump and hop and skip and tell somebody about what God has done for me. That's what it's all about. And when we look at ourselves, you know, the Bible tells us that our joy might be full. Don't hate on folks. But just say, Lord, have you given me all that you have for me? It doesn't mean that everybody's going to respond the same way. You understand what I'm saying? But as long as your joy is full and God has shown you what he has for you. But there's nothing wrong with praising God. There ain't a thing wrong with it. You know, we talk about everything else. We wave flags and banners and, oh, you go girl and all this other stuff. But sometimes we need to tell Jesus to go. Thank you for what you've done for me. Thank you for what you brought me from and what you brought me out of. We need to give God some praise sometimes. Young people, it's all right to love the things that some of the things that you see in this world and on TV, but you need to make Jesus your biggest icon. You need to make him, put him in his proper perspective, and the Lord will lead us. I better let it go. I better let it go. But perhaps there's someone here today that does not know Jesus and the free pardon of sin. As you stand all over the place,
We offer Christ to you.